Hey, welcome back to Civil War Relics, and today I'm going to be talking about a couple of post-war pieces I have. And I'm going to start off with this Children's Founders Roll coin for Stone Mountain. And this was created excuse me, I have a little cold. This was created before Stone Mountain was even made, and was sold to children for $1. And it basically gave them a chance to have their name put on the bottom of Stone Mountain engraved, and then their name in a book called the Book of Memory. It's now in a university, and it holds the name of over 3,500 Confederate veterans, and then about 35,000 children that bought this coin. The back of this coin is pretty cool too. I'm gonna say that looks like what would have been a eternal flame to me, and then the entrance to the hallway. While doing a little research on this coin, I found a pretty cool pamphlet that would have came with it. You know, just so you on it. And it's a little faded because it's old. So that is a really cool coin. And then the next one here, this one is even cooler. This is from my state, and where some of my family members served at. This is a Fort Fisher commemoration coin, and this is made out of actual piece of ship that was sunk during the blockade running at Fort Fisher. Fort Fisher was one of the heavily guarded places there were. And that's an image of one of the cannons overlooking the sea. It's an absolutely beautiful place. I highly recommend going there if you ever visit the beautiful state of North Carolina. It has a really cool museum. Yeah, so the back of this coin, it has the Confederate motto, which in Latin is Dio. I'm not going to say the second word just because I don't know how to pronounce it right. But that is George Washington in the middle, sitting on a horse as well. That is the Confederate motto. This next coin was made, I believe, just for upkeep for Stone Mountain, and it has the images of Jefferson Davis, Robert E. Lee, and Stonewall Jackson. And then on the back of it, it has both the Confederate battle flag and the United States flag. Duty, honor, and courage. Unity through sacrifice. So it was a war of brothers. This next piece here, this is, let's go down like this. So, this is what the Boy Scouts of America in the East Carolina War, in the 1980s up to the 1990s. So that would have been in the area of like Greenville, where East Carolina University is, and Kinston. There were several of these patches made with the battle flag on it for the East Carolina Council. And this is a really cool one that I was lucky to get my hands on. And the next patch here, believe it or not, this is a Vietnam era military patch for the state of Georgia. And I forget what regiment this one went with. Yes, here it is. Yeah, this was worn by the U.S. 5th Georgia Special Forces in 1967 during the Vietnam War. So the Confederate flag has been worn in a lot of wars, well after the Civil War. So this next piece here, I'm going to put this one here too. These are for veterans, and they came with a free pouch of chew, basically. And you see it was directed for veterans, and I found a little advertisement for this stuff, and the pouch it actually came in. That's really cool. So to get one of these things, you would have bought a pouch of tobacco that looked like that, and it would have been brown. My ink is out, but that's still a pretty cool pouch. I'd like to get my hands on that too itself. And then here is a little bit more information about this company. And you see how it's to draw the attention of veterans. The tobacco companies of North Carolina were opened and ran by veterans of the Civil War. You're talking about Julian Carr, which Washington Duke's son wasn't a veteran, but, he's Duke, so... And then this next one here, these were given out by the United Daughters of the Confederacy. These little medals. And they had medals for, this is a WW2 one. They had one for the Korea War, the Global War on Terrorism, and one other war, I believe. And if I guess your dad was in the Sons of Confederate Veterans, he probably got one for you, or your mom, or if you were a member yourself, you probably had one of these waiting for you when you came home, and it came in a nice little box and everything like that. So this is a Georgia Vietnam era patch for the U.S. military. And it is the 5th Georgia during the Vietnam War that wore this patch. So the Confederate battle flag has been worn well after the Civil War by the Boy Scouts, by our own American military, all kinds of things. This next piece here is a really cool SCV reunion medal for the Vance Camp. And back when Asheville was nice to visit, they had a grand reunion there, and made this beautiful ribbon. I'm lucky to have it. I just really like the cool forestry of it. They really care for that area up there. And then we have a Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson postage stamp. I got this at some battlefield site, and then it came with an Indian head penny. I always put the Indian head penny on graves for Confederate soldiers because I feel like it's disrespectful to leave a Lincoln. That's how I feel, but it's whatever, to each their own. Only an asshole would remove something from a grave. So this next piece I have here is a really cool pamphlet, and it would have came in like that pouch of tobacco I just showed you. This one you see is obviously a General Nathan Bedford Forrest. This is the most rare of these little pamphlet sleeves. They did about 17 of them between Union and Confederate generals. And you can get them on eBay for not badly priced. Whether they're real or not, I don't know. I got this at Shiloh Relics. You know, because it gives you a little detailed description too when you buy it about the history of this. That's what I like about buying stuff from Shiloh Relics. And then there's an issue of Confederate Veterans Magazine. I've showed that off before. Yeah, you know. But I'm going to end this. And if you bared with me through the whole thing, thanks for watching. This was post Civil War pieces.